Hello, everybody. We're back again with the Compliance Alliance, and we're continuing the conversation about the Advisory Council. And with me today is Jamie Rechkemmer, who is a member of the Advisory Council. So welcome, Jamie.
Hi, Lynn. Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure, and I can't wait to dig into this a bit further. As you know, this was an invitation only to the Compliance Alliance Advisory Council, and I'd like to know what led you to say yes and to accept the invitation.
Oh, Lynn, gracious. Well, I would say yes to just about anything that you asked, because that's how much I really trust your instincts and your intentions. And so I know that the Compliance Alliance and I are a good fit. Um, but over my career, I have just experienced time and time again the value of collaborating with smart people who are experts in their area, but really want more than anything else simply to be helpful. And that's what I recognized about the Compliance Alliance. That although compliance is sometimes a scary word, when you consider an alliance of bonded and connected people who really want to further the mission of high quality and best practices in early care and education, then hopefully the fear goes away and instead we can just focus on the opportunities.
I appreciate that because it's mutual respect and admiration. Part of the core values of the Compliance Alliance is authenticity and integrity. And so, in my desire to connect people of expertise and talents who share that vision, which you do, I was delighted when you said yes. So, welcome, and we look forward to having you part of the Alliance and helping to shape and form the value proposition to our members and followers, which
Thank
brings
you.
to just a general topic because compliance can be a bit of a catch-all. And I'd love for you to just give your perspective when you think of compliance or the lens through which you look at compliance. What does that look like for you?
Sure. Um, for me, in addition to compliance being a catch-all, early care and education catches way more than just the children in our space right now in particular. Our industry has a responsibility not just to kids, but also to families and to their communities and to our workforce, because early care and education is such an infrastructure for our success. And so compliance in that space has an impact on such a big set of stakeholders, right? The kids, the families, the communities, our workforce, our business community. And so I really think that it's my perspective that our best chance for success requires us to really be committed to proactive and practical solutions and sustainable solutions. And so that means we have to choose the right strategy and the right system and the right technology, the right supports and the right resources. And so a group like the Compliance Alliance, really brings all of those things together, and not just from a service provider perspective, but we bring all of those things together as part of the conversation to start with, which then just makes it so much more likely that our efforts to compliance are going to get started on the right foot and be proactive and be practical and be achievable and sustainable.
Perfect. And in fact, part of the mission I have for the company, because compliance really is a topic that is gaining visibility, but it's also being defined, better defined. In the recent benchmark studies that have been done by the industry analysts over the past year, compliance was rising to the top time and time again. So part of what we're doing in the compliance corner is getting that voice of what does compliance mean to you? Because I think we're going to broaden the scope of what that entails specifically to what you were referring to, because it's not just what happens inside the school, it's all the beneficiaries and all the individuals who are impacted by ensuring compliance. And just as importantly, when it's not met, what's the downside of that? So if we can be proactive and preventative, that's the name of the game.
Well, and I think our consumers are a lot smarter. Our consumers have so much more education, but our consumers also have such a broader lens to the big picture around our businesses. And so when we look at compliance, it's not just compliance with a single set of standards, but it's compliance with multiple sets of expectations and multiple sets of community standards and multiple sets of industry standards. And then, of course, there's just the idea of aligning to the individual consumer and how they create their expectations of quality. So it is definitely a more complicated adventure than we've been on in the past.
Agreed. Agreed. So for those that don't already know you well or know about your background, tell us about you, your start in early education, but what keeps you here and passionate every day about the work you do.
Absolutely. I would love to. I came into early education, much like everyone else, through the classroom. And so I was a young college student studying early education and child development. I had some very wonderful early experiences as a classroom teacher, and had some fantastic mentors that really challenged me to think outside the box, not just in the classroom, but also in all of the other areas where we serve kids and families through the early care and education space. I have had a very unique and wonderfully exciting career where I've been able to explore curriculum development and work in nonprofit. I have been engaged in leadership development for our early care and education leadership workforce. But most of my career has been with some of the largest childcare companies in their education and quality space, leading curriculum development, leading QRIS and accreditation, participating in government relations and advocacy as it relates to early care and education at the state and federal level, and then in a number of different situations. Many of our scenarios were super fantastic efforts to quality through quality rated and improvement. Sometimes we weren't so lucky and we're operating a little bit more from a crisis rehabilitation perspective, but been there, done that, seen it all. And that led me to founding a consulting company, Aim for Impact. So today, Aim for Impact really hopes to impact childcare businesses in big ways by assessing quality and investing resources, and then measuring the results to the bottom line. So using proven strategies that make high quality achievable and sustainable over time, finding the right combination of time and talent and treasure. And so I partner with childcare providers to work through those strategies and hopefully walk alongside them in their successful quality transformation.
Very excited to hear about that, because truly, when you look at the quality standards and compliance, so much of that goes hand in hand. So Aim for Impact, if they want to reach you, what's the best way to do that, Jamie?
Today, I think there are two best ways. One, you can always go to LinkedIn and find me there, but the quicker and better way would just be to check out my profile on the Compliance Alliance website. You can read more about me and my contact information is listed.
Perfect. Thank you for your time today, and I look forward to working with you.
Thanks, Lynn.